Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique, where I take a look at a different Kickstarter project every single time and give my honest thoughts on how that Kickstarter project is being ran. So if you enjoy that kind of weird, wild content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, as I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers to celebrate my 9-year anniversary of making YouTube content. Now today, I am very excited to be talking about the third most popular project on all of Kickstarter right now. Don't listen to this right here. It's not actually just games, but all of Kickstarter. That is Soul Arts, presented by VaatiVidya. And I gotta say, this is one of the most generic and boring main images I think I have ever seen. I can't even tell what's really going on here. And this, I'm sure, when we click on the project, it's going to look much more nice and pretty. But, like, look at the other top... Let's just look at the other top 10. Okay, yeah... What's this? Is this? It looks like a bunch of gray things trying to play human centipede in a book, on a book, and then this is a sleeve for the cover for the book. I'm just saying, you got to remember, you got to zoom in on this, because I'm sure when I click on the main image, it's in the look here, and that one kind of looks generic, but you get what I'm saying. It's just a very generic image, which makes me kind of surprised that this already raised 493,000 euros already, which means VaatiVidya is probably going to be a name that people are going to know, not to mention a hardcover volume of original fan artwork inspired by Demon Soul and Dark Souls, Blood... Oh, wow, it actually tells you more the further you click out. I didn't realize that. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and ... So I will say, I will give them kudos. They have it end on, like, a good spot there. I know Dark Souls, I know Bloodborne, Demon Souls, so as a video gamer, if those were my style games, they're not particularly my cup of tea. I just think they're way too damn hard. But I'm interested. So this is a book of original fan artwork. Okay, so it's a book about a game that I presumably love. You know, it'd be nice. And so now I look at it and I say, oh yeah, it looks much more pretty, more intricate details. It looks a little bit better. So I would always say, zoom in, because here's the bottom line. This image goes away right now, and this image is gone forever. Like, that's how long people are going to have that image on the main screen, because when you get to the end, that image does not pop up of this, oh my god, 11-minute and 30-second video. What the hell are you going to talk to me about for 11:30? Whoa, okay. We're doing things different on this Kickstarter. I'm always excited. Sekiro and Elden Ring. And I do like the fact they mentioned the heavy hitters before they got to the more indie-ish games, I would say. I feel like more people know Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Demon Souls versus Sekiro and Elden Ring. And I say it because I have no idea what Sekiro and Elden Ring is, but I'm assuming they're indie games. But anywho, as I click on this, there's always 3 things that you need to convince people as a Kickstarter creator. I know I was looking at my microphone instead of looking at you. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? As always, let's check out the video and see if they can do that.
Over the last few years, I've launched 5 art competitions, and now...
Whoa. I love it. What did I just say? There's 3 things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Can you do it? Yeah, you're a very... Apparently, just an artist with immense amount of talents. You are acclaimed. People know your name. And so your name being attached to this project immediately means you don't want this to fail. You don't want this to be a huge black eye on your career, which your career is your life. So you just, I mean, it just makes sense. Whenever you have a big name attached, I feel more comfortable with the project. So can you do it? I'm immediately going to give it a check mark in the first 10 seconds. Awesome. Then also the do I want it? I wanted to give that a little bit of a shout out as well, because aside from the main image, that text told me exactly what I needed to know. This is an art book about these really difficult video games by a famous artist, because you put his name in there. Or their name, I don't know their gender. But yes, so that's awesome. Just want to spotlight that.
Over the last few years, I've launched 5 art competitions.
Oh my.
And now, the incredible art from those competitions has a home. Soul Arts.
Boom.
A beautiful tome. Carefully crafted and full of art inspired by Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring.
Cool.
To be clear, the book has no official link to these games, but that's exactly what makes the art within it so creative. These artists imagined places, bosses, and weapons that have never been visualized before, expanding the worlds that we love in an exceptional way.
So right now, do I want it? Can you do it? You're crushing it. You are crushing it. If this is your cup of tea, art books about video games in particular, those, like, it's a done deal. So how much is it? That's the only thing we need left, really. And I like to spotlight this because I have a feeling we're not going to find out how much it is for a while.
Go beyond the 6th archstone and read about the twisted city where the Weaver gently distorts the world. or skip ahead to the unseen lands, where artists brought to life regions that we never got to see in-game.
Wow.
Few would have seen this piece from the Imagining Bloodborne 2 competition, which depicts Carol's terrible fate.
That's amazing.
Or this piece of prosthetic art, where Sekiro becomes equipped with a pivoting greatsword. Then there's the chapter for Elden Ring, with bosses and open worlds drawn from a time where we knew absolutely nothing about the game. So, we'd be
speculation
if soul arts could earn a place
That's
on
awesome.
your bookshelf or coffee table. This Kickstarter is a real leap of faith.
Whoa, we just went totally meta there. You don't typically see people put their Kickstarter page in their Kickstarter video. I'm not against it, pro or con. It's just, we just broke the fourth wall.
With your help, I know that we can create something.
Now we're scrolling through it.
Here's a preview of your reward tiers. A digital...
Okay, I like it. I like the cut of their jig. Wasn't a fan of that main image. I came into it with a little bit of bias, but damn it, I am loving it because the three things: do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Boom. Done. In the video. Only thing left, shipping, which is a bugaboo for a lot of people. Hopefully we get to that one. But wow, I even said I didn't think we were going to get to it for a while, but wow. Hats off so far.
Edition, a cover art poster.
All right. So we're going through, presumably these are the pledge tiers. I'm already getting the vibe that we're going to have a lot of pledge tiers most likely, and they're going to be the kind of pledge tiers where I'm going to say, why didn't you just make this an add-on? But let's go.
Your reward tiers, a digital edition, a cover art poster by Ricardo Amique, the art book itself, the art book with a slipcase, an art exhibition bundle featuring a collage poster, the benefactor bundle where your name will be listed at the back of
Okay, I love this Kickstarter already. Aside from that main image, that was a bad first impression, but this is why we don't just things on first impressions. Holy shnikes. Do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? You are taking me along what I like to call the ride. And I recently did one for Coffin Comics. They did a Kickstarter with 40 pledge levels, and it was just terrible. It was not fun to go through. It was not sorted weird. They had hoodies as one of the things and like a shirt, and it's just like, ah! This looks to be like one where every single time he's just talking about each one of these pledge goals, and as we go higher, it's like, how high do you want to go? It becomes its own little mini game of chicken. Like, I am so into this project, how much money am I going to invest? So as we continue to go, it's like, all right, now your name's in the book, but how far is it going to continue to go? Like, that's the fun part of these kind of Kickstarters, especially when it's like a real fan service one. I can't remember his name. But when you can make these a fun journey for everyone to go on, I think it's just spectacular. And so right now, I'm excited to see how high these pledge levels go and how awesome the pledges get. And I have no emotional investment or attachment into this whatsoever. Those games don't really appeal to me. This art book doesn't really appeal to me. But that artwork just, let's keep going. I'm excited.
The book and a signed edition.
Okay.
I'll be back at the end of the video.
Oh, that was it.
Now, I'm going to pass over to Jason.
Okay, so I do feel like that is a little bit of a missed opportunity there. I really do. But then again, I guess I don't know their framework. Their mindset, I should say. Because you are the artist yourself. And if you had a pledge level that was an original piece for you, just for you, where we will discuss what it is. I don't know if that's like muddying your artistic integrity or anything like that. I don't know how the whole artistic integrity thing works, quite honestly. I shouldn't say that because I guess I'm considered an artist. Ignore that. but that's a kind of a banger of a pledge level, like where you could just say $5,000. That's what I like to call it. I don't like to call it. They're called the whale, the giant pledge that you want people to take that they're probably not gonna take. Give them a massive whale. Say like, we're only gonna do 2 of these or 5 of these or anything like that. I feel like that's definitely a missed opportunity though. If you're just in the make money mode, which not everybody's okay.
A publisher who is going to explain things in a bit more detail.
Hi everyone, this is Jason from Tune in Fairweather. Let me tell you about Soul Arts. This is the most ambitious project that we have worked on to date.
So first thing I want to mention, personal touch, love it. Love it, love it. I'm getting not one personal touch, but getting two personal touches. I got a personal touch from the author, and now we're getting a personal touch from the manufacturer, the producer of it. Think about that. I come from the board game world. Imagine if the Kickstarter video was someone at first talking about their inspiration for the game and how the game came to be and a little bit about the game, and then it was actually like someone from CMON telling you about how this game came to be. It's very interesting. I love the different things they're doing. I still think 9.5 minutes. Wow, we got a long way to go.
We always try to push ourselves with each new project. And with this one, we're going...
Boom. Right there. Subliminally just mentioned this is not our first rodeo. This is not our first time making a book. We've done this before. Like it. Mentioning it.
Into a much larger format. 10 inches by 12 inches. This is a giant book. It's going to...
No, naughty. That main image just pisses me off even more right now. You need to mention how large this book is from the jump. That thing was huge.
Styles. You are not going to get...
Like, this is not, like, when you say how large this art book was, because, oh my gosh, this video is so long. I can...
A much larger format. 10
So it is 10 inches by 12. So it is a foot-long book. I would absolutely mention that. Maybe even have this actual image right here. Like, this with the information you want to convey, I think is... This image, I do believe, is better than your image. Just hands down, assuming if you zoom into it, cut out the backspace. But this is a big selling point. This is a coffee. This is not just a book that you're going to look at and put on your shelf. You can say, this is a coffee table book. And I think that opens your market up exponentially, because that's not something we see typically on Kickstarter. I would lean into that.
Inches by 12 inches. This
Big.
is a giant book. It's going to be...
That's cool.
Unmissable. 256 pages of vibrant...
And I love the use of the word unmissable. Because let's be honest, let's go down to the deepest, darkest human nature here. You buy this book, you spend $80 on this book, you want other people to see this book. You want people to be like, what is that? Wow, that's so cool. You want a little bit of that envy. Yes, you obviously want to support them, and you want to get this awesome product, but deep down, like, why do we buy board games? So people say, oh, that's so much fun. So they have fun with you.
Full color artwork, dozens of different artists, lots of different styles. You are not going to get bored flipping through this book. Every page is a new, unexpected fever dream, inspired by From Software. You're going to love it. It's been so much fun to work on. There are so many unique styles represented. We have there's pixel art. There is lush, colorful digital painting techniques on show. There are grim, hyper-realistic character concepts. And so to not just have those inspiring visuals, but also have it in a lavish, physical, tangible form is really important to us. We want to honor the artists that are part of this book and honor this series with something that is collectible. That's
my enthusiasm is dying.
Stand the test of time. And so one of the...
It's just... This is not typically what we see on Kickstarter, and I think there's a reason why. You caught my enthusiasm in a bottle. My excitement in a bottle in that first 2 minutes, and then now it's just... I mean, this is interesting. Don't get me wrong, this is interesting, and I love seeing the more stuff, but my initial enthusiasm is now gone. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Do you agree with that? I feel like, well, I don't think this is bad. This is the kind of information I think you have later on in the Kickstarter story for people who really want to get into the weeds on exactly what they're getting. Or maybe actually just a little bit of this sprinkled in. I think as a 3-minute video, this would be spectacular. Maybe 2:30.
Challenges that we're taking on with this project is to not just deliver a beautiful book, but to have a gorgeous, protective slipcase to house your investment. This is custom designed by our art director, Andrew Hind.
Yeah, right there. Like, I want to rewind real quick, and I want to go back to that main image. Because, once again, that main image just, it doesn't do this surface. Like, what you have here, this book, this giant book, and this slipcase, I see this. And it's just, meh. Whereas, this doesn't make it look like a foot long. It makes it look like a small book. Something I hold in my hands. You know, I think that's a misstep.
We created a die-cut viewing portal in the front of the...
I can barely even see it there. So it just looks like it's the cover.
Get this keyhole glimpse
of
Ricardo Emming's...
That's awesome.
...cover art, which we're referring to as Canvas of Souls, since you have this abstraction of all of these different artists jostling and to draw their own unique vision onto this.
I could not tell that was that in any way, shape, or form. It looked like a bunch of little gray images. I didn't even see the Redeemance there either. Like, that's why it's just this...
The design finishes on this book are absolutely immaculate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line there. If this is a book about art and just how intricate and fantastic and spectacular this art is, why would you zoom so far out on it?
From the moment you turn the front cover open and you're confronted with the metallic gold end paper design, you can already start seeing symbols that are custom designed to match each one of the 5 art contests.
Neat.
And so they each create this constellation when they all fit together. So because of the ambitious nature of this project, we want to work with a print partner that we have a lot of trust with. And so we're working with Conti Technicolor.
Awesome. As I always say, name dropping who you're manufacturing with is big. It really is big. It can be big in a bad way sometimes, but, you know, it's just, it gives you more credibility in that can you do it just becomes even more obvious that, yes, they clearly know what they're doing. But this is not the place for it. Maybe in just a passing little thing, like a passing little blurb, but not in your Kickstarter video.
They were the printer based in Florence, Italy, that helped us bring You Died to life, and we threw everything at them. We did 4 different versions of that book, and they absolutely nailed every single piece of it. So we feel very confident that they will help us deliver to the...
That right there gets me excited about the book, too.
With this particular project. And we've already been in touch with them, even ahead of the campaign, to start showing them some of the target vision.
But here's the thing. Make it bite-sized, because I need to run a poll on this. I run tons of polls. I'm very curious, how long is the average time you think you're on Kickstarter when you get on Kickstarter? Let me know in the comments below about that. What is your just average amount of time? I feel like for a lot of people, it's like a bathroom break. When I see an 11-minute video, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to finish this. I feel like what they had there was spectacular, but maybe just like a little GIF where it's like, here's our manufacturer, they did something, here's our first project that they did first, and it's just like a GIF, or even a video. Like, even if you just split this and put that down and say, be sure to check out the amazing work on the cover that's going to be even more in-depth and intricate for this book with the yada, 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 because what you showed me there was great. Like, it got me more excited about the book. But it's just, I wish Kickstarter would just let you put YouTube videos. I would love to know just when the average person just stops watching the video. Because most people don't watch videos through. That's just true of YouTube and Kickstarter, I would imagine as well. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. We still have 6 minutes.
And they are very excited about it and can't wait to get going. We've got lots of fun rewards to offer as part of this campaign. We realize that the physical version of Soul Arts is a big financial investment, so we're happy to be offering a digital edition at a lower...
We're on redundancy. Like, I complimented you the first time you did it. The second time, I'm like, what the hell? Where were you 4 minutes ago? Like, what, why are we... No!
That is high resolution, DRM free, no shipping cost. So it's a great option.
He mentioned the shipping. Be still my beating heart. I hope he does it for the other ones.
Back at a higher...
Because I know, obviously.
We have not one, but 2 different art prints this time. One, a larger format version of the cover artwork for you to display on your wall.
So here's the thing. I will say that is a much more impressive visual image than I got the first time they told me about this picture. So here's the key. Why don't you just take that image and splice it over that one dude talking? Instead of going over it twice, because now it just feels like it feels like you're just getting more in depth about what the other dude already said, which is just, it's so weird. Like, what?
And then the idea for the second print, which is a design showcase, is to take the book
like that
and
picture
distill it
right
down
there,
so that you get a kind of gallery exhibition.
That picture over the actual artist talking, and it's peanut butter and jelly. It's not that I just want your book; it's that I want that as well. Like, oh,
within the confines of that frame. And
like, I want that.
really
I want that piece of art. Like, just I have no attachment to any of those games, but like that piece of art is it's just badass.
So we hope
And it looks so awesome
if you'd
on
like
the
to have
wall.
your name immortalized in the acknowledgement section of Soul Arts, have a look at the benefactor bundle. That's a way of us being able to thank some of our more generous contributors for helping us bring this project to life.
We know how this
and
works.
then for people who have been following Vaati's work for years and want to have his personalized touch featured in their book, we're going to have signed nameplates that you'll be able to affix to the end papers of the book and have been designed to fit perfectly in that space,
Clever.
complemented by the metallic gold background there. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thanks again to all of the artists.
What do you mean?
represented
We still have
in
4
this
minutes.
book. We hope you are proud of the way that we've showcased your art, and we think this will be an absolute essential collectible for anybody who loves the games of From Software and feels that inspiration well up when they play them. You cannot look through this book without feeling the incredible, overwhelming sense of love and appreciation.
My ADHD is hitting me really hard right now. I'm sorry.
It just oozes off every page. We've still got a lot of work ahead of us before we're able to finalize the layout of Soul Arts and send it to the printer. So we're targeting early 2022 for the shipping of the physical edition. And the digital edition will go out ahead of that as soon as it's ready. So you'll have that to tease you as you're awaiting the finished product.
He just mentioned the shipping. So all that I need is pretty much over. I mean, I still need the price of the shipping, which hopefully we'll get down to relatively early. But do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Like, it's... Everything I want is in this video, but I just don't think people are willing to sit through 11 minutes. And I'm very, very curious to see how many new people are on this project that this is their first time using Kickstarter. And I'm going to take a stab in the dark, and I'm going to guess it's a relatively high percentage. Which makes me reanalyze what I'm saying now about how lengthy the video, because if you're not used to Kickstarter standards, and this is the first I don't know. We'll get there.
Share the campaign with a friend. We need your support to make this happen. If you want to go on this journey with us, we would love to have you. And thanks for being part of this. We really appreciate you. Bye.
I have my 2 copies of Jason's book, You Died, here, and I'm just so excited at the prospect of having a book that looks and feels as good as this one. Jason put a lot of work into this book, and it shows. He and I both believe strongly in having a few really special things that you can collect and treasure. It's better to have a few things that bring you a lot of joy rather than a lot of things that don't, right? For me personally, though, just bringing Soul Arts into existence will bring me a lot of joy. Because whenever I released an art competition video, there were always tons of artists who just missed out on being featured, and having to make those decisions tormented me. The video would have had to be hours and hours long to include everyone, and video isn't the best medium for presenting artwork. It just isn't. But a book is, and with this, we'll be able to feature new artists and move away from the competition aspect so that we can just focus purely on the art and the narratives that are being presented. And of course, most artworks submitted did come with gameplay descriptions and a story sometimes as well. So I've taken that text and those stories and I've faithfully rewritten every single entry so that every entry sounds consistent between pages, because every artist writes differently, and now it's all being rewritten through my hand, so it can also fit the page perfectly as well. Where necessary, I'm also expanding upon these stories with writing of my own. And it's my hope that each page will read like a short prepare-to-cry story.
That's cool.
So if you're a fan of the channel, I think you're going to love that aspect. So there have been 5 competitions, and Across those competitions, winning artists have already received their share of $10,000 in total. Now, while 99% of artists that I contacted for the book gave me permission to include their art without any mention of payment or a fee, I've decided to also split another $10K of my own money for every artist that was shortlisted for the book. That money is already spent, and it's theirs to keep.
This is Inception!
Even if their artwork isn't chosen for the
Wait! You son of a bitch. My brain's exploding. He actually had the Inception top next to him while he showed you the two other books. Were you going for Inception here? Because if not, you had to be going for Inception. I feel like that scene from that Will Ferrell movie where it's like, did you just reference TLC? And it's like, no, it's all happenstance. Like, you have to be. I don't know. I'm so confused by this Kickstarter, but it looks great.
Or even if the project doesn't get funded for whatever reason, paying artists properly is really important to me.
Yeah, we get it.
Made that possible. And if the project does get funded, then the publisher has also committed to shipping a free copy to all included artists as well.
That's cool.
Of course, names of included artists will be presented alongside their entries, and links to their portfolios will be found at the end of the book for anyone keen to seek them out and commission them or send them job offers. So, as you can probably tell, this is a book with no compromise, because I strongly believe that the art is worthy of that. I'm aware that doesn't come cheap, but you get what you pay for, and I hope that you can join me in supporting this Kickstarter before the campaign ends. If this is a success, then it will also help to fund future art competitions so that we can make the Souls art community the strongest of them all. Thank you, as always, for your support. It means everything to me.
Okay, that was a lot. So my most blunt, honest recommendation here, and I was thinking about it that whole time, once we got past like the 5-minute mark, is I would cut that up into about a 2 or 3 minute bite-sized morsel of absolute spectacular goodness. And I don't even think it'd be that terribly difficult. And then just say, if you want to see the full 11-minute video of just of the history and the journey of this story, click on this, because that I'm all for. But you got to remember, this is the first date. You know, don't tell me about everything. Don't tell me about everything on the first date. But that being said, do I want it? Hell's yes. Can you do it? Yes, obviously. You went deep into details with that. How much is it? I know the prices, but I still need to go to the shipping, so hopefully we get there. And then, 3 created, 1 backed. We got some collaborators here. Awesome. So we should have some good customer service. Let's make sure these aren't flaming dumpster files. The Epicurean, a novel, You Died, which You Died I know exists, and I saw, and I said, oh my golly. That looks really, really nice. So 1,605 backers. What the hell is wrong with the postal service that was picked? Have you shipped yet? I'm still waiting for my order. And yeah, so once again, look, great customer service, 11 months, 11 months, 10 months, 10 months. Now, if that said 10 months, 2 months, or 10 months, 3 days ago, that's when you need to be concerned about the customer service. But no, I see some solid customer service here. That book is obviously out. Let's make sure this book is out. And really what you're doing here is you're just making sure it's not a flaming dumpster fire. My copy arrived during this week. It's absolutely stunning. I received my buke. So, yeah. Can you do it? I wasn't that worried, but we always got to do the due diligence because I got burned before on that. Yes, you can. Do I want it? Yes. How much is it? I know the prices. I know the pledge levels. You told me twice about them. And all I need to know is the shipping. But let's see if it's covered in here. That'd be gorgeous if it was. Oh my gosh. Be still my beating heart. I absolutely love so many things about this Kickstarter. Wow. Top notch. One thing I will say is I would mention that somewhere over here in the story that the shipping is calculated over there, because some people were now like specifically like looking for shipping. And so you mentioned that. It's an awesome thing. Oh, excuse me. So what do I need? I don't need anything. I guess I'm ready to give it a grade, but no, we still need to go through the story. I feel like I've already been put through the ringer, though. Drawing inspiration. Imagine being hired by From Software, the award-winning behind Yada 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 Games and Games and Games, to create original boss-designed weapon content with YouTube content. Vadi Samuels invited the Soulsborne community to indulge such a fantasy, running a series of art competitions on his YouTube channel. He invited viewers to submit original artwork about those. Okay, so that also makes me think that we're going to see a relatively high percentage of people who are new to Kickstarter, because normally this, oh my gosh, yeah, it's nearly 50-50. Holy crap. You don't typically see that very often. That is, yeah, let's take a look at Near Mage. This is just another random thing in the video game category, because I want to show you just how wild and wonkers that is. 44 compared to 1,400. You know, that's much more typical. And a lot of times this is even lower. So, wowzers. Kudos to you for having a fan base who is loyal, who is here, who is fervent. So now you need to convert the new people. And that's mostly why I'm just hammering on 11 minutes. Because I know if you're newer to this, you're like, why the hell is what's wrong with a long video? And it's just, there's a reason that most people try and keep these videos tight, is because you're competing. So you're on video games, and most people, I feel like, just search games in general. But some people search tabletop, some people search video games. And I would honestly consider maybe just putting this in games in general, by the way, as opposed to video games. Just because I think this sort of item has massive crossover appeal for a lot of board gamers and role-playing gamers, who many of which are video gamers as well. Just something to consider, because board games are much more popular than video games on Kickstarter. But I lost my train of thought. But, yeah, so this is a really cool idea. This is a cool idea. So we're taking all these artworks from all these different people, we're mushing it into this book. He's a YouTuber, and now we're doing exactly what the video did, which is going really into detail about different aspects of the book, which is great here. That's what I'm saying, just in that main page. It's a really hard sell, I think, for most people on Kickstarter, because, oh, that's what I was getting to, because if you realize, if you actually looked on games, like how many other things you're competing with, there's like 200 projects on games right now. You know, so when you present to me an 11-minute video, it's just like, ooh, that's a big swallow. When I can... All right, so, and then the size reference, this is awesome. This feels very redundant. I feel like you're, ooh, and there's that's from the main, okay, so we are getting to the reward tiers, which is good, because here's the other thing. Decent chunk of the people don't watch videos. They just go straight to the story. I'm finding out that that's more prevalent. Now, still, most people do click on the videos, according to the polls, but there's a decent chunk who just like, no, I don't want any of the shenanigans in the video. I want all story. So keep it digital. Looks good. Canvas of Souls. Once again, you did the thing. You did the thing where it looks very unsexy instead of... Now, I will say this, however, looks sexy, but let's just say I scroll past this. Let's say I don't even put any solace to it. I think this is just how you weirdly decorated your rewards tier. Oh, no, but I would totally get this down here. And this would be one of those rare times where I would say, you know, I don't know. Because this one is actually more zoomed in on the artwork, but it doesn't really give you a sense of the scale, of the size of it. Whereas this, I'm like, woohoo, that's a piece. So yeah, I would interweave both somehow. So then we have Soul Arts, where you get a book and the PDF. Hopefully you have the pledge level where it's the book and the picture. Because I think that's going to be a popular one. So this is where you get a special book sleeve, $20 sleeve. I don't think that's going to be too popular. I'm very curious. Art exhibition, $150. I think this is going to be the most popular one. Just make it a bold prediction. The benefactor bundle, that gives you 2 posters, though. Wait, is this poster bigger than that poster? Wait, is this poster smaller? I think that poster actually is smaller. Okay. No, is it? No, it's a big poster. Right? These are both big posters. Okay, so the way you have it presented here, I believe it makes it look like a small poster. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Yeah, it looks like a noticeably smaller poster, and maybe it is a noticeably smaller poster. Maybe that's what you're trying to do, which if that's the case, then good. But it's just, we're getting all weird and wonky with sizes here, and that matters. That really does matter. I say it all the time in the board game industry. Let me know the size of the box. Okay, so signed by, so this is the benefactor bundle if you want everything. This is like the extra exclusive Whale $2.95, and that does explain why you can't have someone do the artwork for you, because yada, yada, yada. But so maybe you can even reach out to some of those people and see if they can do it. I don't know. Thinking all wild and wonky here. And you can even say, oh, they're going to get a large percentage of the cut on it. So you're actually supporting small artists right there. And shivers down my spine. But that would clog up your pledge levels over here quite a bit. But anywho, about the publisher. Tune in Fairweather's a small breast-paced. They did other stuff. We know. I feel like I can tell you a lot about them based on the video. Praise You Died. The definitive version of the Dark Souls book. Books about death have rarely been this beautiful. You Died is about to create a versaic of the book that matches. There will be no better art book. Exploration of Dark Souls. Utterly brilliant. Okay, so we got quotes. Honestly, I've been so sold. And here's the thing. With an art book, like, I'm like, do I really care what reviewers say? Like, show me the art. I get it. This is more about you, less about this particular book. The can you do it, but it's just odd. Everlasting design, and we're out. Wow, it just seems really abrupt too. So, shipping section. I know you don't have a shipping section because you're handling it all over here, which I think is great. Also, is VAT included? Would be good to know as well. But I would mention somewhere, shipping handled over here, easy, convenient, and I would mention that, right from the jump. No stretch goals, no unlocks, which means how are we going to keep people coming back to this? Because, the 3 links below talk all about it. How do you stay up high on the popularity chart so people are more naturally just going to click on your thing? Because if you're rated 54 on the popularity charts, nobody's seeing your project because nobody. Do you scroll down? Do you scroll down to project 54 on a typical basis? I don't feel like most people do. I should ask that in a poll too. But it's so really important to stay on the popularity chart. No unlocks. No stretch goals. So there's no real reason for me to ever come back to this project, is currently what I see. So hopefully you're doing something to get me engaged, to get me coming back, or else this is going to sink like a rock, especially with that main image. And you can tell, if you just look at the most popular things and you scroll down to 30, 40, 50, you'll see some huge projects that are making big bank, but they're why are they down there? They have 2 days left to go. Shouldn't they be popular? And it's because they're not engaging people. And they're not getting people coming back to the project, which tickles the Kickstarter algorithm, bumps you up higher, and that's how you get that big boom at the end, really. But anywho, so updates. Check out. But there's no update FAQ. There's no questions. I'm not from anywhere that has a VAT, but is the VAT covered? So yes, there are frequently asked questions. Updates. Fully funded. You people are crazy, and I can tell you, I don't think this is a good update at all. You have 4,564 backers, and you had 22 comments. 22 people thought this was engaging enough to comment. And so what I always say, every single time, the thing that makes an update good is engagement. You want people commenting, because that's how you tickle those the Kickstarter algorithms to get yourself higher. 22 people, and I bet you most people are just complimenting you, complimenting the artwork, saying how excited they are. Yeah. Book, love it, I'm stoked, back, blah, 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 we love it. But I do see you're in there, which is great. But this is not going to get it done. And I'll give you a prime example right now. Right here. And it's right here we go to games, and we're going to go to the most popular games. Not video games, just games in general. So we're just going to go to games in general. And you say to yourself, why is this game, which has 751,000, more popular than this game, which has 5.7 million. They both have 17 days left to go. This one launched, I think, a little bit after this one, but not by much, by a day or two. So what makes it? It's the updates. And I can tell you, they're doing spectacular updates that are getting hundreds and hundreds, well, not hundreds and hundreds, but hundreds of comments, 182, with 10,000 people. Whereas that the Avatar one is getting less than 182 with thousands of people because they've made, millions of dollars. So it's just got to have engaging updates or this thing is going to sink like a rock in the next, few weeks, because you're up here for 28 days. There's a lot of other stuff that's going to be coming on video games and just games in general that is going to sink you because, yes, you have this initial burst of your fans that are just the 2,000. Once again, the 2,000 people who haven't used Kickstarter before, they're just here, they're excited, yes, back it, and then they're leaving and then they're not coming back because you haven't given them a reason to come back, which means this is going to sink like a rock. And so you got to have some good updates. Got to have some good updates. Ask a question, because here's the other thing. You know your audience better than anybody else, and you have a very specific niche product right here. So there's a lot of different questions. Let me know in the comments below, what's your sickest fever dream about a game? And you could even break up your updates so that each update was just reaching out. And it's what's the craziest thing you can imagine from this game? Have you ever had a dream about this? Or anything like that? Have you ever fantasized about, this? And each one could just be a different single game, and you're going to get people talking upon people and people commenting on the other people's things. Maybe you could even make it into some sort of event where, the one that gets the most comments on it. You can vote by commenting on your favorite of these. Oh my gosh, somebody steal that. That's insanity. That would have thousands of comments potentially. That is, tie your stretch goals to that too. Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is not the project with stretch goals or unlocks or any of that exciting stuff that's going to keep coming back. So just save that for a different project that has updates, that has stretch goals. Happy to back this project since the quality of work featured is extremely high. That said, given the enormous success of the Kickstarter, to fund it 10 times over with plenty of time left to grow, it would be a good faith gesture to explore options to increase artist compensation beyond what was cited in the video. 10K split amongst the artists is not that much. Great point by Ben. Hey, I've got an idea. Why don't we actually reach out to those artists and see if they would be interested in making some artwork for some of the Kickstarter backers, and they will get the funds directly, and then all of a sudden, and obviously you would say we take a small percentage of the yada yada with the boom to bang, because we got to pay the back end stuff, the 5% here, the 5% there, but that gives you an insane amount of goodwill. It's a great way to make these artists some extra cash and get these artists connected with the Kickstarter backers, and not to mention, it's exciting. It brings excitement to the Kickstarter page, which is, you capture it in a bottle, and then after that, it's like, okay, I'm in, I want it, but it's like, why do I come back? So, yeah, respond to this. Hey, Mikey Espinosa. Hey, if I was to do the digital, but then when the Plantage Manager opens, would I be able to go for the physical book? That's a friend of mine. He lives in Fort Wayne. I don't know if I should say that. He might be wanted by the police. He lives in Auburn. You'll have no problem with changing your pledge before the campaign ends at 28, as you're not charged until then. Afterwards, that could also be a different person named Michael Espinosa, because I think Mikey knows how to work Kickstarter. Okay, I take it back. It might not be my friend. But can't wait to receive the signed by Vaati backed. And so I do say they're in here. They're commenting. Awesome. And you are going to have some generic questions. And this would be one of those times that the other thing I might consider adding to this campaign is new to Kickstarter. Here's how it works. Sort of deal, which typically I have scoffed at, but you clearly, nearly 50% new. That is hats off. Hats off to Tune and Fairweather, but more importantly, hats off to VaatiVidya, the YouTube creator, because at the end of the day, he got 2,000 people to sign up for Kickstarter. That's crazy. Like, I don't want to sign up for anything. That's spectacular, and I do say that. So maybe a new to Kickstarter sort of section I think would be good here. But at the end of the day, what's my final grade? Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? They were answered so quickly, but then everything else just kind of went all weird, wild, and willy. And also, okay, so final grade. This is a hard one for me. I know the shipping. I know the cost. I want the product. Can you do it as an absolute yes? That would say like an A+. But I can't do it with that video. Like, I just don't think that video is a great choice for Kickstarter. For your fans, 110%. No doubt about it. Hitting a slam dunk. But how are you going to get more Kickstarter backers? Because I think this has crossover appeal. I think it really does. Because it's based on really popular video games. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give this a B+, I think. I think it is... No, I think that's... No, I got to go A-. I'm going to go A-. I can't say... I can't believe I'm giving it an A- with an 11.5-minute video where they literally said the pledge levels twice. But it's just top to bottom, just such... No, B+. 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 I got to go B+. No, I got to go A-. I knew... Do I want it? Can you do it within the first, minute? Got to go A-. But let me know what you think about Soul Arts, presented by VaatiVidya. And let me know in particular. I lost my train of thought. This whole Kickstarter thing, and so we're done here. But I do want to have like a sidebar discussion, because the more I think about this, the more I love the video a little bit, but not really, because it brings me back to what Kickstarter used to be. And so while I still don't think it's the best strategic move to have that video as your Kickstarter video, think about what Kickstarter once was. It was a place to make dreams come true. It really was. As cliche as that was, it was I have a dream, I have a game, I have a book, I have a movie, and I've been in a movie that was on Kickstarter. I have made a Kickstarter board game myself. I have Kickstarted numerous things. I think I've done like 5 or 6 campaigns. They're not good, by the way. This was back before I started doing this segment and really studying Kickstarter. But this feels like one of those projects. There was so much of a personal touch intertwined in here, not only from the creator's perspective, but from the publisher's perspective, which is just so unique. And I want Kickstarter to go back to this. I wish every video was like this. Well, maybe not that long, because my ADHD was kicking in. But I just, this is the question, I think. And this is why I didn't want to ask it, because it's kind of a long-form question. Do you wish Kickstarter was more like this? That was more long-form, personal touch, support this dream, make it happen style thing. Whereas now, it feels much more like you're buying a finished product and it's just, when's that finished product coming out? It's all glitzy and sharp and glamorous and 2.5-minute videos like I talked about. Which of those Kickstarter worlds do you want to live in? Let me know in the comments below. I know this Kickstarter took a whole different turn. I feel like I need to now change the generic-looking books, because I have so much more to say about this than generic-looking books. But as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.